So, good afternoon, everyone. Here we starting our next lecture, that is flood. As we seen in a runoff and flood unit, runoff after runoff there is a flood. So, in a flood, we have some contents like what is flood, what are the causes of floods, then classification of flood, intensity of flood, and factors causing flood, then the factors affect on the flood, return period, then Indian rivers and flood, that connection of Indian river and flood, and river regimes. All our contents are included in the flood. So we have to see what is flood. Okay, here, mm, just a second. So, flood is an overflows of water from a river or a stream is called as a flood. So, flood is a state of high water level along a river channel or the on the coast that lead to inundation of land which is not usually submerged. So flood can form where there is no stream, as for example, when abnormally heavy precipitation fall on a flat terrain at such a rate that the soil cannot absorb the water or the water cannot run off as fast as it falls. Means during the maturity stage of any river, the depth of river is less and width goes on increasing. For example, from the source river Ganga runs through a deep and narrow valley up to Haridwar in Uttarakhand, where it comes down to the plain region. The load carrying capacity of river Ganga is reduced, so the load means mud and other eroded material is deposited on the bed of the river to make it shallow. Can flood be man-made? So for this question, what is the answer is there? Flood are caused not only by rain but also by human changes to the surface of earth. For example, as we took place of river sides for a construction purposes or a narrow width of canal. Okay, farming, deforestation, urbanization increase the runoff from rains. Thus storms that previously would have caused no flooding today inundate west areas. Not only do we contribute to the causes of flood, but reckless building in vulnerable areas, poor watershed management, and failure to control the flooding also help or create the disaster condition. Okay. Now, distributional pattern of flood in India. What is the distributional pattern for India is during the southwest monsoon, as the supply of water increase, the excess water carried by river Ganga gets spread, crossing the right and left bank on the both the side of causes flood. So, distribution pattern, floods occur in almost all the river basins of the country. The vulnerability atlas of India shows pectorally the areas liable to flood. Around 12%, 40 million hectare of land in India is prone to flood. Most of the flood affected areas lying in the Ganga basin. I just told you from the source river Ganga runs through a deep and narrow valley up to Haridwar in Uttarakhand. Then Brahmaputra basin, that is comparison of Barak, Tista, Tosa, Sabansiri, Sankor, Dihang, and Luhit. These are Brahmaputra basins. Then Northern West River Basin is comprising Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, Base, and the Gagra. Then Peninsular River Basin, that is Tapti, Narmada, Mahanadi, Baitarni, Godavari, Krishna, Pennar, and the Kaveri. The coastal regions of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Orissa, and Kerala. Recent example of flood is there, that is Tamil Nadu. So distribution pattern of flood in India, as I told you, during southwest monsoon, the supply of water increase excess water and carried by the river Ganga gets spread crossing the right and left banks on the both the side of causes flood. But during the summer season, when the snow melts at the source region, that is a Dev Prayag means Himalaya, the water supply increase to the cause flood. So here is again distributional pattern like Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Orissa are some of the states who have been severely prone to the flood. Our country receives an annual rainfall of 1200 mm, that is 85% of which is concentrated in 3 to 4 months in June to September. But now I want to tell you October and November is also included. You can see the recent flood and recent atmosphere conditions. Okay. So due to the intense and periodic rain, most of the rivers of the country are fed with the huge quantity of water, much beyond their carrying capacity. You can see here is the map which is showing the area labeled to flood, and it's showing in a red zone. Okay, you can see from the that northern part, means from the Jammu, and here we can go for the Meghalaya region. There is a high flood area which shown by the red, and after that you came here upper portion of the Gujarat, means border of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Okay, and then from this Meghalaya to you can come here downward in the Odisha and Andhra Pradesh sides region. Okay. Now there are some causes of floods, like some of the major causes are heavy rainfall, then the heavy siltation of riverbed reduces the water carrying capacity of the river or the stream, then blockage in the drains lead to flooding of the area, landslides blocking the flow of stream, construction of dams and reservoirs, and last but not least, in areas prone to cyclones, strong winds accompanied by heavy downpour along with storms surge lead to flooding. Impact of built and natural environment. What are the impacts? You can see here, flooding can have any of the following effects on housing or other small buildings, like houses washed away due to the impact of water on the high stream velocity. The houses are commonly destroyed or dislocated so severely that their reconstruction is not feasible. House washed away means you can see in a Chikurun flood situation, there was so many houses were went through the flood. Okay, and Tamil Nadu, Kerala is also affected this. Okay, flotation of houses caused by rising water. This occurs when lightweight, typically wood houses are not securely anchored. They can be removed too far from their foundation for relocation and repair. Damage caused by inundation of houses. The house may remain intact and on its foundation, but the water damage to materials may be served. Repair is often feasible but may require special procedure to dry out properly. Next one is the undercutting of house. The velocity of water may score and erode the house foundation or the earth under the foundation. And this may result in the collapse of the house or require sustainable repair. And last is damage caused by debris, means massive floating objects such as trees or the houses may impact on standing houses and causes significant damage to that standing houses. Now, some are the health related effects, you can see in a flood, deaths usually exceed injuries, not only human but also animals also there. So surgical needs are low and are generally only during the first 72 hours. Flood may create conditions that promote secondary effects of waterborne and vector-borne disease. A slight increase in death from venomous mouse snake bites has been reported but not fully sustained. Then agricultural, obviously in most prone countries where economies are based on agricultural, as India is also stand for the we can say Bharat ha Krishi Pradhan Desh ahe. On such a sentence, the largest economic flood related losses are in the agricultural sector. So even in the industries United States, 40% of flood losses in 1975 were in agriculture. So obviously, most losses to the agricultural result from drawing of crops. Suspectively, to drawing depends on the type of crop and duration of the flooding. So some are quickly killed by a relatively small amount of superfluous water. Others can resist as much as few days of a superimposition. So even crops that thrive on a large amounts of standing water will be killed if the water stands, as in Bangladesh example. Other agricultural losses occur in the submersion of crop storage facilities. Grains and other crops will quickly spoil if saturated with water even for a short time. Obviously, if there is a flood in agricultural land for more than 72 hours, then all crops will be destroyed, such as. So this is the most important factor or the flooding and its causes. You can see this is the diagram which is showing the plane of flood. So when there is a heavy rainfall, whatever the percolation or whatever the filtration is there, it will goes. But after some time, the flood will be occur. Okay. So causes of floods is primarily the all floods are due to the surface runoff, as I said, and actually the flood are the results of favorable combination of precipitation and the characteristics of a watershed. Okay, so the causes of flooding in all the major river systems are due to the intense rainfall, then topography of the catchment, then the sedimentation of rivers and reservoir, then obstructions in a river flow, failure of a dam, then the failure of a river embankment, inadequate cross drainage work, and contraction of water. So, intense rainfall we can see means the flood are resulted of one of more factors responsible to increase the normal level of running water of any river or a stream. So intensity of rainfall or intense rainfall means in the catchment area of any river, the intensity rainfall increase. That is, if receive for means more rainfall, then the average river in the downcourse get flooded. Generally, these floods are observed after the normal rainy season, mainly in the months of August or September. Means in the intense rainfall can occur only over a comparatively small area. Whenever such a precipitation bursts over a small watershed, it results in a high surface runoff, which reaches the main channel faster than it can be on discharge, flooding the low-lying area along the stream. The seriousness of the flood will depend upon the following factors as the intensity and duration of the precipitation, means surface slope of the watershed and nature of the surface soil and covering vegetation. And I want to tell you the duration of rainfall is also causes of the flood. Means if the rainfall continues for a longer period, then the normal the amount of rainwater increase will cause the flood. So next one is the topography of the catchment. Means in a topography means if the occurs of the river is rocky and has more slope, the velocity of the river water increase and the chances of flood are reduced. In cause of plain, the velocity is reduced, and so the chances of getting flood are increased. That is, Indian plains of Uttar Pradesh, Assam, West Bengal, Bihar have the suffer more due to the flood than the state having rough, that is steep topography like Jammu and Kashmir, Nagaland, Mizoram, etc. Okay, so the coastal plains of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh also suffer from flood due to the plain topography. Here, you can see here is the catchment, that is Perm catchment diagram is there, and you can means in case of small size shallow catchment area, the changes of flood are more. Okay, so mountainous region, the relation of intensity of rainfall and slope of the surface have been found to have a good relation. The same intensity of rainfall produces more discharge in mountainous region than the plain area. The shape of the catchment also affect the surface runoff and flood. For a fan-shaped catchment, the time of the concentration will be less, and peak, hence the peak flow will be more. But in case of fern leaf type catchment of the same area and storm, the time of concentration will be the more. Here is topography of the catchment. Now next is the sedimentation of rivers or reservoir. Means if the surface soil in the course of river is porous or the water percolates and reduces the chances of flood. In case of non-porous soil which does not allow the percolation of water, the chances of flood are more. For example, deltaic region, the fine clay and silty soil do not allow the percolation of water to cause flood in the delta region of river Ganga, Mahanadi, Narmada and Kaveri are flooded every year during the rainy season. If the topsoil layer in the catchment area is loose and the vegetation cover is less, the tributaries flowing through such area carry heavy sediment load. This sediment load is deposited in the river bed and the reservoir in which the river merge. Thus, cross section of this river becomes shallow resolution in overtopping of water during heavy rain. Means due to the siltation in reservoir, the storage capacity of reservoir decrease, so resulting in a flood of downstream area. And last is the obstruction in the river flow. Obstructions means the sometimes due to the heavy landslide in the river, the natural flow of water is obstructed, resulting flood situation on the upstream of the river. And when the obstruction in the river are removed due to the heavy water pressure accumulated on the upstream, flooding is caused on the downstream of the river. Next is the failure of dam. If there is a failure, then the dam may fail due to the following reasons, like erosion, piping, foundation failure, earthquake, etc. So dam is constructed to store the huge quantity of water in the reservoir created on the upstream of the dam, stream. Due to the failure of dam, large quantity of water stored in the reservoir instantly release, causing flood in the downstream of the dam. So there are some failure of river embankment and inadequate cross drainage works. These are also the causes of floods. Construction of waterway. Due to the construction of railway or highway bridge across the river, the natural waterway of river is constructed due to the bridge, piers and abutment. Thus, water rises on the upstream side due to insufficient passage, and the upstream area may get flooded. Okay. Thank you.